The pot stock high wore off quick following President Biden's announcement of historic federal pardons for marijuana possession. While most multi-state operators climb between 20 and 30% Thursday, most are flat or down slightly today. So what's the level of optimism in the industry? Andrew Carter is the Stifel Cannabis Analyst and joins us now. It was a massive announcement and shocked the world, including the stocks, but then it seemed everything came back down to earth. What's your level of optimism and what changed as of that announcement?
Hey, well, first off, thanks for having me.
Good to have you.
I would say, number one, it was surprising to your point. The first point is, though, the pardons, it doesn't really accomplish much. There's very few simple marijuana charges at the federal level for just possession, though most of those are done at the states and don't have to be done there. The third thing was kind of interesting that he is kind of signaling that he wants to start the process of reviewing marijuana status. That can change through the executive branch. It is more bureaucratic. It goes to the FDA. But you asked what changed. Well, yesterday, nothing really changed about the category. It's a difficult category right now. I think you could see the negative of yesterday, but it didn't sustain into today, is that you do have a problem, both the U.S. and Canada, of too many players in the category. And if you open up capital, that could only make things worse. So it's hard to say where things change, because at best, if we do go down this process of descheduling, you're going to get, it's going to be a long process. And as we wrote, not sure you're going to like what's at the end. The one silver lining is maybe SAFE Act does have a better chance of happening in the lame duck session out of this.
Yeah, I found it notable that Kim Rivers, Trulieve CEO, who joined us, said it was better late than never as for the pardons, but called it historic and monumental as for the potential rescheduling. In terms of the investment space, though, did anything change if you are a cannabis investor? No,
the category is still in a tough place. Let's go around the world. For the hydroponic stocks that we cover, which is actually kind of one of the broader classes where you invest, includes Scotts Miracle-Gro. The category is still amidst a really great recession where we have too much capacity. WM Technology, kind of the leading cannabis tech vehicle, we think that they have a strong value proposition over time. They have one of the very few brands in cannabis, but retailers are still under pressure in their markets. Canada, this has really nothing to do with Canada, but Canada is a difficult market. It's increasingly fragmented, very competitive, and a difficult structure. And as far as Canadians being able to invest here, well, I don't know why I'm excited about Canadians suddenly being able to invest in the U.S. if assets were to re-rate, which if they would do. MSOs, though, I'll defer to my colleague Andrew Parthenu on that one. But the U.S. MSOs, it doesn't change anything overnight for them, but there is that silver lining of opening up capital via SAFE, and if that does pass.
Yeah, which still no real optimism because not a single Republican in the Senate has publicly supported SAFE. What's your level of optimism? I mean, a timeline on actual federal legalization. And beyond that, what could change the investor story?
Yeah, sure. I'd say for the SAFE Act, I think the odds are better now that we know that. And I think in particular because President Biden did do the pardons. So that potentially provides some progressives cover. Now, what we'll get into are the nuances of pardons versus expungements, and see if some of the progressives take refuge in that. So a little bit better, but my timeline on it, I guess I think because President Biden has signaled this, maybe even it could lead to Congress wanting to take up the issue themselves as to not leave this and not leave it to intentional consequences. Maybe something does happen within the next 2 years, but I think that is an optimistic case in itself.
Yeah, I think more a political win than anything else as we approach the midterms and gas actually goes back up. He needed some sort of October surprise for a win. Perhaps, though, Tilray's reporting gives us a better sense overall of the sector, a $66 million loss. What did we learn there?
Well, yeah, the $66 million loss you refer to is an accounting loss. We refer to the adjusted EBITDA. Mm-hmm. Numbers were kind of right in line with our estimates, $13.5 million EBITDA. A lot of one-time things in the quarter, though, was the $42 million burn. I don't think we learned a lot. We know Canada is a difficult market that's weighing on their profits, even as they reduce their costs and try to increase their market share. It's one thing we learned. They did reiterate their EBITDA guidance for the year. I would argue with FX, the guidance is actually higher and a little bit difficult. But that was encouraging. They also reiterated their free cash flow guidance. Wouldn't say we learned anything today. Canada's a difficult market. They and Tilray's probably, as we've written, we believe that of the companies trying to go after being a leading market share position in Canada and trying to leverage that for kind of a global stake, they're probably in the best position, but you can't get away from the fact that Canada is a very difficult market, and that's going to be expensive to do.
Yeah, at this point, more cautionary tales than success stories in cannabis. Stifel analyst Andrew Carter, good to see you. Thanks.